I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I did want to talk about it real quick. This is an article from BoundedIntoComics.com. G4 host Indiana Black claims viewers are unconsciously biased against her because she is not as bangable as the previous host. If you didn't happen to see on an episode of, I think it was the X-Play, but the revived G4, they were having an episode, and she went off on this rant, this tangent, because they were talking about things that were, they were given an opportunity to air the airing of gaming grievances, as it says right here. They had her, Gerard the Completionist Coyle, Corey the Black Hokage, Smallwood, and Adam Sessler, who's a complete prick. But anyway, they were given an opportunity to air their grievances. She talked about some stuff that she had a problem with Red Dead Redemption 2's online mode, but then went into a rant about sexism in gaming. She said, joining G4 is ecstatic to be a part of something I grew up watching as a channel, but every time G4 is brought up in various channels, even in this YouTube channel we have the chat in front of us, I can see you. Without a doubt there will be backlash because I'm not as bangable as the previous host. It's somehow been expected that you could talk about how much you jerked off to women as a compliment. It's not a compliment, it's dehumanizing and it's weird. Women do not exist to be nice on the ice for you. Morgan Webb, Olivia Munn do not exist to be nice on the ice for you. You know, I agree with that. It's stupid how some guy, like talking about how much you jerked off to a girl. That's not cool. It's not a compliment. That's ridiculous. And she said, but this is where she goes off the rail. And that's just obvious sexism. You don't need to explicitly objectify women or declare that you hate women to be sexist. Just go ahead and check out Thorin's latest meltdown on Twitter for some spark notes. Basically, Thorin is a caster for some, a whole lot of games, basically. And he was against it. They were going to have a women's only tournament for Counter-Strike, and he wasn't for it, basically, if I'm remembering that right. Anyway, but he said, well, hey, why are we having an all women's tournament? What about an all men's tournament? All that kind of stuff. We're talking about how we need to do better stuff than just giving away money, basically, in a much less competitive environment. I might be conflating some of that, so you can go check that out for yourself. But But the article goes on to say, it appears that the catalyst for Black's tirade may have been criticisms and disagreements he received in response to reviews as the host next moved to address how here at X-Player reviews are written and produced by a team of people. There's too many games for one person to shoulder the burden, so we divide and conquer. And all this kind of shit, And she just goes on and talks about, and that's not to say that Gerard, TBH, Adam, or myself don't contribute to the reviews. We absolutely do. Because she's talking about having a team of reviewers and everything. That's why we're X-Play, not Adam Play, much to the joy of Sessler, who's shown clapping exaggeratingly from his home studio. Which this guy, Sessler, I used to, kind of like him when like X-Play was first started, but then over time, he got more and more just stupid and goofy. I didn't care for it. I thought he was just stupid as hell, dumb, and everything. Now he's just an insufferable twat, because he was tweeting out things like, he hoped all his Republican family members died, or that all Republicans are stupid, racist, and drink piss, and things like that. Which, of course, is ironic considering that one of the next things she says, she's sitting there talking about, she then admitted, though, that it also happens to Gerard and Smallwood, getting, pushback and stuff, but their experiences do not discount the sexism of how it happens to me when it does. Which is basically very telling right there, because when you get criticized for something, that doesn't make it sexist. When a black person gets criticized for something, that doesn't make it racist. It could be. It's possible. It's possible it's sexist. It's possible it's racist. It's possible it's homophobic, but that criticism in and of itself is not sexist, racist, homophobic, whatever. Anyway, and she goes on and she talks about, she draws her thoughts to a close. She's, when we're in our DMs, all that kind of shit and everything, just going on and on. You can't objectify me, all that shit. So maybe for 2020 we'd be a little nicer, a bit more self-reflective, and we enjoy the fact that people are working hard to make free content for you. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace. And there she is. Someone was calling her Machine Gun Karen in the comments, which I think is pretty funny. But anyway, the article goes on to talk about, it's true that women experience gendered insults and criticism on the internet every day, just as most people do based on their immutable traits, whether they be black, white, female, male, or anything else. And then, goes on and says that it's something that most internet users are actively trying to change every day. And then points out the fact that, basically just her hypocrisy. it also seems odd to use G4 as a platform to denounce the objectification of women, in light of how when Black herself was a child, went into work there, the network themselves aired such evocative segments as the aforementioned Munn eating a hot dog, and having her play along with Attack of the Show host Kevin Pereira standing behind her in a sexual pose. You know. Anyway, it's currently G4 appears to be on step 3 of the Critical Drinker's 5 steps for franchise destruction, as after having picked a really popular IP with a loyal fan base and updating it for modern audiences, the network revival attempt is now set on antagonizing the fan base. Further, Black's conclusive declaration, if you don't like it, don't watch it, echoes a similar rhetoric put forth by Marvel writer Kelly Sue DeConnick in October 2017, and then goes on to talk about how that's, backfired on her, basically. But let's see right here. Here's an article about it claims Republicans are stupid, racist, and drink piss, and previously wishes Republican family members would die. So her talking about, let's all try to be nice. Well, tell that to the stupid son of a bitch who's on the program with you. Don't worry about anybody else. You worry about that fuckhead. But basically, I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. I've already gone 6 minutes. This is the kind of thing where it's like, it's just so stupid. You shouldn't tell people, hey, if you don't like it, don't watch it. That's fucking dumb. It's a dumb thing to do. It's a dumb thing to say, to try to antagonize people that could possibly watch. There's going to be trolls. There's just going to be people who are going to try to criticize you and everything, regardless of what you do. You don't take it personal. You ignore it. That's probably the best thing you can do. It's just ignore the shit. Anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.